In this video, I will be showing you how to create the cleanest Bedwars thumbnail for absolutely free. Now, in this video, there's going to be two sections. The first is going to be done in Photoshop, which is a paid program, and the second is going to be done in Photopea, which is free. So if you don't have Photoshop, you can still create a very good thumbnail. But hold on, don't skip just yet. Here are the things you're going to need to create the actual screenshot. Forge 1.8.9, NewNPC mod and 3D skins, Optifine 1.8.9, as well as complementary shaders. Now, all of these are going to be linked in the description, and these are all free to download. Okay, now since we're in the game, and assuming you have all the mods you need, by the way, for the NewNPC mod, you might have to download player API, but you can basically just search that up. Now, when you load up the game, you're going to click Options, Video Settings, Shaders, and you're going to basically select the complementary shaders that you just downloaded. Now, since you downloaded from the link in the description, the settings should automatically be the ones I have, but just in case you don't, here they are. That's basically all of them. So once you have the shaders enabled, you're going to want to find basically just a simple resource pack, and you can go ahead and get into a single player game. Now you're going to want to download the Bedwars map, and you're just going to join it. Now this is just a thumbnail that I made not too long ago. Once you open your inventory, you're going to see this little tab. Now if you click the right arrow button, you can see these little interesting things. Now, this is just the NPC mod, and you're going to want to get these three tools. You're going to want to get the NPC wand, the cloner, and the deactivator. You don't need these two, so just ignore those. Now, as you can see, these are like the NPCs that I've made before. So we're basically just going to be doing the same thing. Let's say you want to just create a simple little thumbnail about bridging. You're just going to build a bridge. Now, with the new NPC mod, you're going to select the cloner, and you can just tap on the thing. It's going to have this thing called poses. So let's say you want a bridging thumbnail. You're just going to select sneak bridging and click spawn. But, oh no, he's facing the wrong way. So you're going to select the wand tool, and you're going to right click, and you're going to go to AI and click movement edit. And you can just move it facing the degree, the angle. You can just play around with this. You're probably asking, how do I get my skin on here? Again, you use the wand tool, and right here you're going to see this thing called texture. You can change this to player and type in your name. And boom, it's your skin. Now, if you have an Alex skin, all you're going to want to do is you're going to open up with the wand, and you're going to find model, and right here you're going to click entity and just select Alex arms. You got Alex arms now. How nice. Now for this thumbnail, I don't think I want the character to be bridging. I simply just want him to be running. So you can just select anything like running position. All these positions are just really easy to do. So right here, that is the perfect angle for the character. So we're just going to do the same thing. Model, entity, Alex arms, boom. Now let's say you want the head to be more down or the arms to be a different position. You can go to advanced, and here it's going to say puppet. You can click edit, and you can just edit everything. So let's say you want, turn the head different way, I don't know. You really can do anything you want. So now another thing you can do is you can give the NPC items. You can simply go ahead and click inventory and just drag this into the hand. Now once you've basically created the little thing you want, whether it's a fight, whether it's a bridging method, anything, you're just going to click escape options and change your FOV down. Now we do this because it just looks significantly better. Please do not take your screenshots with AE FOV. It just looks weird. Set it to the minimum, and you're going to find a nice place to screenshot. But hold up, you're going to want to make sure you have the NPC deactivator selected. Now once you find the angle you want, press F1, and you're going to press F2 to take a screenshot. And since you have the NPC deactivator in your hand, you're going to right click it, and your character should go away. You can take another screenshot. So you should have 2 screenshots in total. Now once you've taken your screenshots, it's time to go to Photoshop or Photopea. You can skip forward now.
Huh?
So if you have Photoshop, this section's for you. Click File, New, and you're going to make sure your thumbnail is 1920 by 1080. Just copy the settings. You can call it whatever. Blah, 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 blah. And you're going to press OK. You're just going to want to go ahead and drag these 2 in. Hold shift and click on both these layers. Right click, rasterize layers. You're going to want to hide the background layer, and you're going to select the pen tool. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to draw an outline of your character. So, by the way, just in case you're a complete beginner, if you want to move around, just hold space and you just click, and you can move around like that. And if you want to zoom, hold Alt and use the scroll wheel. Now once you get to the end of your line, you're just going to go ahead and click on the starting point, and it'll close out the path. Now you're going to hold Control and Enter, and it'll go ahead and make a selection. Now make sure you have the layer with the character selected and called Control J, and I'll just duplicate that. Now you can delete the layer underneath. If you really wanted to, you can just adjust your character. Another thing you are gonna want to cut out is the bridge. So just do the same thing. Get your pen tool, go ahead and cut out the bridge. Control Enter, Control J. You're gonna go ahead and click right click, blending options, and you're gonna copy this layer style. So you're gonna add this inner glow with these settings and this gradient overlay. So it looked like this before, and now it looks like this. Now you're going to do the exact same thing to the blocks. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to select the background, and you're going to click filter, blur, and you're going to add a slight blur to it. Do about 3 pixels, just so your character gets all the focus. Now, next thing you're going to do is you're going to click Ctrl J on your character, and you're going to go ahead, right click, clear layer style, and you're going to make this a smart object. And you're going to go to filter, blur gallery, path blur. So once you're in the path blur menu, you're just going to go ahead, hold and drag to the direction you want the blur to go. And you're going to want to make sure centered blur is unchecked, and you're just going to adjust the speed. You're going to set it to around 51% and click OK. Now if you feel like the blur is a little too much on some places, you can go ahead and select your eraser tool, but make sure you rasterize the layer first. You can go ahead and select a soft brush and just go ahead and get rid of that blur in some places to make it a bit softer. And yeah, it already looks pretty good. I'm going to adjust the size of my character a bit and make him a bit bigger. And it's going to look like this. It's looking pretty good so far. Now, you're going to get 2 options. You can either go ahead and put some text here, or you can just put like, you can basically put anything you want. So let's say you want text. You're just going to go ahead and select a font and be like, oh, I'm going to write tutorial. Now, usually you're going to want to go ahead and place the text behind the character because it simply just looks way better. So you're really just going to want to play around with the text until you find something that looks good. You can go ahead and add some layer styles. So I just made this red layer style right now, and here's what it consists of. Stroke, stroke, and a glow gradient over here. You can just copy that if you want. Now, the thing that I highly recommend doing with your text is going ahead and click the transform and select warp. And you're going to go up here and select arc. And basically all you can do is you can make a little arc, and it looks way better. And boom. Now all I'm going to do is add some Photoshop icons or whatever. Yeah. And finally, you're going to add a color correction. So you're going to go ahead and get adjustments. If you don't have this, go to window and just find adjustments, it'll pop up. And here you're going to select brightness and contrast. Now you're going to go ahead and increase the brightness, increase the contrast, and this is just going to make your thumbnail stand out a lot more. And with the logos, I'm also just going to add a inner shadow, as well as a white stroke. So once you're done, you should get something that looks similar to this. Honestly, you can change these photos and the text to be basically anything. I'll show you an example of that right now. So let's say you make ASMR videos. You're going to import the images of whatever keyboard and mouse you have. I don't know, you can write like ASMR or whatever, something, I don't know. That's if you make ASMR videos. And yeah, that's basically how you do it in Photoshop. Now I'm going to show you how to do it in Photopea. The process is literally the same, but we're going to do it anyways, okay? Now, going into Photopea, you're going to select new project. And you're going to basically do the same thing, 1920 by 1080. And we're going to make this transparent. So, yep. You're going to click create. Now once you're in the actual editor, you're going to go ahead and find your screenshots in your Minecraft folder. And you're simply going to go ahead and drag them in. Now you're going to want to make sure your character is on top of the other layer. You're going to hold shift click and select both of these and click rasterize. Now you're going to hide the background, select the screenshot with the character in it, and you select the pen tool. Now to zoom in, you're going to hold alt and scroll wheel. And to move around, you're going to hold space and move around. Now you're going to go ahead and cut out your character. Now you really don't have to be too accurate with this since it's going to be very small and no one's going to see the fine details. So you can just do a rough cutout. Now once you've got to the end of your line, you're going to go ahead and click on the original point you made. And you're going to hold Control and you're going to press Enter on your keyboard. Now you're going to press Control J and it'll duplicate the layer. Now this path is still going to be here, so you're going to click right click and you can click Remove Path. Now you can delete this background layer and you'll just have your character. Now once you've got out your character, you're going to go ahead and reselect the background. And all you want to do here is you want to go ahead and click on your background layer and you're going to cut out the bridge you made using the same method. Control Enter, Control J, Remove Path. So you should have 2 cutouts, one of your character and one of your bridge. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna add a layer style to both these things. So you can press Control, Blending Options, and you're gonna select Gradient Overlay. For the blend mode, you can select Overlay, and you're gonna want to make sure it's a black to white gradient. Now depending on the darkness of your character, if you have it on 100, it may look weird on the black bits. But for mine, it actually looks good. So you're just going to play around this until it looks pretty good. Now you're going to adjust the angle to be basically the direction that your character is facing. Now we're going to add a slight drop shadow facing the direction your character is coming from. Set the distance to 0 and set the size to about 5. And you're going to make it about 50% opacity. And you can set the blend mode to normal. You right click on the character layer, layer style copy, and you're just going to paste it onto the bridge layer. Now right here, as I said earlier, it looks pretty weird when it's too dark, so you can just go ahead and go into blending options and edit this to be a bit less opacity. Now for your bridge, you're going to want to go ahead and add a inner glow. Make sure it's white and make it overlay. Now next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to duplicate your character and you're going to go ahead to layer style, clear on the bottom layer. You're going to convert the bottom object to a smart object. Go to filter, blur gallery, path blur, and right here you're going to get these two little things. Now you're going to adjust the path, face the direction your character is coming from. Then you're going to adjust the point speed to be around 15 and you're going to press OK. Rasterize this layer, select your eraser tool and select the softest brush, and on the areas where it looks a bit too much you can just go ahead and erase those bits. And yeah, your character should look a bit like this. Now what you can do is select the text tool and you're going to create your text. Now you can load in fonts to Photopea just because most of these just look absolutely trash. So for this video I'm going to be using Dustin, and basically you're just going to type in whatever you want. Let's say you make an ASMR video. Once you have the text, you can hold Ctrl, Alt and T. That's going to allow you to transform the text. If you're making a keyboard and mouse ASMR video, you're going to go ahead and drag in your keyboard and mouse. Make sure both of these are rasterized. And basically you're going to place your text, your keyboard and whatever behind your character. What you want is you're going to want to create a blending style for this. Now if you want the same text as me, just copy these settings. Now I'm going to be changing the text to be red because I feel like that would look better in this thumbnail. Now another thing with the text, actually I'm going to add a gradient overlay. I didn't have to do this when it was white, but now I kind of do. And with red text, I like to make the inner glow white. So if you have red text or any colored text, you can just copy these things, changing this gradient of course. And yeah, it's going to look something like this. Now next thing you're going to want to do with text, just to make it look a little bit more nicer, you're going to right click, rasterize layer style, and click Ctrl Alt T. You're going to click right click, warp. And here it's going to say style and you just select arc. And you can make it a downwards arc, an upwards arc, really depends on what you like. Now next thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and add a bit of glow. So you're going to make sure you have a soft brush and create a new layer and select linear dodge. Now you're just going to go ahead and find the most sort of bold colors. Right here it's red. And you're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glow. And you want to make the opacity a bit less down. And the color in my thing is blue, so I'm going to add a bit of blue. Now if your character has any jewelry, you can create a new layer with soft brush again, except selecting overlay this time, and just add basically just little bits of glow. Another thing you can do is add a layer style to the keyboard and mouse. I like to add a drop shadow with a stroke inside of it. And you can just go ahead and copy this over to the keyboard as well. Now the final thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a color correction. So you can go ahead up to window, adjustments, and you should get this new panel. And you select brightness and contrast, and you're going to go ahead and increase the brightness and increase the contrast. And this is just going to make your thumbnail more just bright and clickable, and basically people are going to want to click it, okay? And that's the goal as a YouTuber. Your background layer, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and you're going to set this to be around like 5, 3, really depends. I'm going to set it to 4. You should now have a very nice thumbnail, absolutely for free with Photopea. Now if this video helped in any way, shape or form, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe and like the video. And maybe leave a comment whilst you're at it. And maybe check out my other videos too, they're way better than this. But yeah, that's it. Much love, peace out. I am not a pirate. Get off my screen. I don't care if it's unlicensed, buddy. Easy. Boom. 1 hour, goddamn, that's a pain in the ass.